Kristen, and welcome to Traditions in the Making. Today we're going to make for you cinnamon rolls, and we're using our basic yeast bread recipe. And here are the ingredients that you're going to need to get started. You need flour, milk, butter, sugar, salt, yeast, a little bit more sugar, and some cinnamon. So to get started, we need to melt some butter on the stove. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab me a pot here. Okay, our butter's melted, so we're going to go ahead and add our sugar and our salt and our milk. And we're going to stir this up until the sugar dissolves, and then it needs to reach between 110 and 115 degrees, not too warm. You definitely want to make sure that it doesn't get too warm, otherwise you'll kill your yeast. We'll just let this warm up here for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step.
While Kristen's melting the butter, I'm going to take some hot water, probably the temperature of about 110, 115, and I'm going to melt my yeast and sugar in it, and we're going to mix this up. And we're going to let it sit here and go to work. It will bubble up, should fill this cup while you're waiting for your ingredients to melt. Okay, we've heated our butter and our sugar, and it's to the right temperature, and you can see that my yeast is active and it should be doing just fine. So we're going to add that to the milk. Also, 2 egg yolks beaten. We're going to add that to the milk. I'm going to give this all a little stir. And then we're going to pour it in in our flour. I started out with about 6 cups. The recipe says 6 to 7 cups, but I always prefer adding my own instead of starting with the whole amount. It's a pretty sunny day, so we might not need as much flour as normal. So you want to wait till it mixes up good and add it slowly. Okay, babe, a little more. Probably the rest of that cup. Okay, we're going to put just a little oil in the bowl so that it's like vegetable oil, so that the bread won't stick to the sides of the bowl. We're going to have to work with this just a little bit to get the last of that flour incorporated. It's really easier if you put it out on the countertop and work with it, but I didn't want to make a big mess, so I'm just doing it this way. Oh, that dough has a nice consistency. It's a little bit sticky, but not enough to change it. Perfect. We're going to coat the top, roll it over, and now we're going to set this in a warm bowl of water and let it rise for about an hour, and then we'll check on it then. Okay, our bread has risen for the second time, and we're going to punch it down. And after this, I just kind of cut it in two and Kristen, if you'll take that part, and we're gonna roll it out here in some flour. You want to roll it in as big a rectangle as you can. And then I take about, 3/4 of a cup for each one of them. And you're just gonna, make sure that it's very well softened. And we're going to sprinkle some sugar on it. Just want to coat it pretty good. Okay, Kristen, you want to put some cinnamon on it? Mm-hmm. Alright, and then we're going to take it and just start rolling it up. It doesn't matter about the size, nobody cares what it looks like, it's the taste that counts. And you kind of seal it. If you get too much sugar near the edge, it won't seal good. And my white, yeah.
Oh, you don't want a knife?
This, no, it works much better like this. If you wanted big fat rolls, go ahead, babe. You cut them a little bigger, but I cook them in we put spray in these two kinds of pan, and it will fill up. One of them is a large baking dish, and the other one's a 9 by 12. 9 by 13. So when you get to the end pieces, if they're not as big, then what I do is I just add it and make another one.
Are we going to fit more in there? Or?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do the other. We bake these in a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. You want to wait and watch them till they're golden brown, about the color you would like. And we're going to whisk up a little icing to go over it. I'm just using a little vanilla and a little milk and powdered sugar. We don't like it thick and heavy on there, so.
And then we're just brushing these with a little bit of butter, just to
make sure the tops don't dry out. And like about the right consistency, I think. I just kind of add the milk until it's about like I want it to be.
Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're the expert at this. You should be doing it.
No, you're fine. Want to put a little bit on all of them, and then with what extra you can come back and do some more. If you wait till these are cooler, obviously the icing will stay there and not melt, but these just came out of the oven, and like I said, my family doesn't like the hard icing that's on the top, so we kind of go with the sinking in, and it melts in. This particular recipe, using the basic yeast dough recipe, the cinnamon rolls will keep for a long time. They even freeze well. And when you take them out of the freezer and heat them up, they're just like you just made them. So this is a recipe that works really good because it stays moist. It doesn't dry out. And if you're like me, you want to heat them a little bit, you put them in the microwave for 10 or 12 seconds, and tastes like it just came out of the oven. Hope you enjoyed this.
Obviously, baking is something that takes practice, and she has had years of practice and has taught me a lot about cinnamon rolls and just baking in general. And I hope that you enjoy the recipe. If you'd like to get the complete recipe, you can go to www.traditionsinthemaking.net.
Thanks for watching.